What's up, everyone? It's your boy Isaac, and I'm joined today by Jesse Kimani. I'm sure you guys already know Jesse if you remember him from the episode we did dedicated to Arsenal. He came
Yes,
here.
sir.
He dropped some vibes, and today he's back to talk a little bit more about his club. So yeah, it's podcast this shit, and we're gonna get into it right away. So Jesse, welcome. And to start off with, we heard the news about Edu, Arsenal sporting director, leaving the football club, going to I don't know,
Yeah,
Nottingham Forest, Olympiacos. Apparently, there's like an organization there. And I just thought
yeah,
it was interesting. First of all, I want to find out how you feel about you guys losing Edu, especially the timing of it. And also, on the
yeah.
larger context, I want us to discuss the role of the sporting director in football right now.
Yeah,
Well,
man. First off, yeah, thank you for having me back. Always happy to be part of podcast this shit. And
yeah,
amazing to be here. Thanks for the amazing episode last time. So yeah, man, let's jump right into it. So of course, there's some crazy resignation from Edu news that we got. That was not gonna lie. That was sad, bro. I didn't even like at one point I thought it was fake news because I was like, this is
really?
so random. Yeah, bro. I
I
was
know,
like,
I
why?
know.
And it was apparently there was speculation, I guess, in Europe at that time, but it wasn't like
Mhm.
some that was, had really surfaced up until the I don't know which reporter broke the news, but personally I just was shocked, number one, because I mean I thought Edu was loyal to us, bro. I thought he was for the cause. But bro, and for the bands, bro. I mean, I don't know if it's just the money, to be honest, because I heard I think his name is Marinakis or something. I forgot the owner
Yeah, yeah, the
of the Nottingham
Nottingham, yeah.
Forest, Olympiacos, and that whole organization, right? So finally, it was an offer he couldn't refuse. And I don't know what that
Really?
offer entails, bro. Yeah, because I mean, from what I read about it, it was just like Edu had really loved the idea of a multi-organization view, and I think him being sporting director, it would not just be of Nottingham Forest, it would potentially be of that whole organization. And I think maybe that's what I'm hoping he went for, and not just the
But
money.
it's
Because
Arsenal though. I don't know. For me, I feel like it's
yeah,
Arsenal. You've worked so hard to like bring this club from wherever it was up until this point. Like, wouldn't you want to see through? Actually, like this is a team that is challenging for the Premier League title, right? Wouldn't you want to at least like
right.
see that through, get your hands on that trophy, and then you just leave? Like, do you feel betrayed? Actually,
I'm saying I genuinely feel betrayed, bro. Because I'm like, if you look at our team right now, he's literally like the backbone. He built this team with
yeah.
Arteta. Like, he's so much a pivotal person in the new Arsenal that is there today. So for me to just see him leave, to be honest, like, bro, what the hell, man? Whatever that organization is, like, it's still not the Arsenal, you know? Like,
Exactly.
respect to career and all that if he wants to chase his career, but I feel like he would have had a better like career arc in Arsenal. Like if he built the team and saw them win the title, bro, I feel like that would have been such a monumental achievement for him.
Yeah.
And it seems as though that's why for me, I'm like, it was probably a bag. Because bro, how do you just drop this storyline that was building so well, you know?
No, but if
And
it's a bag, I mean, you're a
yeah.
big enough club. Why couldn't you like, if it
No, but we
was,
fought for him. We fought for him. Apparently, like there
you
was some,
believe that?
there was some time. Yeah, they actually tried to like challenge for that, for the I guess the offer that he had received, and I think yeah, they just couldn't give him a good enough offer to stay. I mean, I've heard we've already found this new guy, Robert, Obale or someone. To be honest, I don't know much about him. I've just
Yeah, we all don't.
yeah. I hope he was in I think he was a coach for some La Liga team.
Mm.
Not even La Liga, I don't know, Real Union or something. So we'll see how he works for us. But to be honest, on Edu, yeah, I hope it comes back to bite him. For me, I'm like I I'm that type of person, bro. I'm that kind of person to hold that grudge until we carry
I
the
see.
title, and then
I see.
I'm coming back to your ass like, bro, you thought you're gonna come and leave us for Nottingham. Story like
I
Olympiacos.
mean,
I was just like, bro, come on, man. I don't know,
okay,
man.
so
That's why for me, I just think it was the money. But ah,
okay,
I'll give him
okay.
his respect. He gave us some
Yeah, he did
identity.
great
He
for the
gave us
club. Yeah.
He did a lot of stuff for us that's done good for our identity and the club.
And
So,
he built a
props
really
to him
good
for that.
relationship with Atata as well. Like you were saying, props
Right,
to him for that as well. So,
right, right,
and that
right,
kind of
right,
leads
right.
me to my next question. Like now that he's gone, how do you think it will actually impact, you guys, your progression
Hmm.
right now? Do you think him leaving is currently affecting the squad already? How important do you think, his role in Arsenal
Yeah.
is? And also
Mm.
in general, like the sporting director role now in football?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess that leads into just a question of the sporting director, right? So, first of all, I don't think that his impact leaving. Of course, he's gonna leave some, memories gone and all that, like emotional sentiment for sure.
Yeah.
But in terms of like this club and the direction that we're headed towards, I think this could technically even be a good thing for us.
Really?
And the reason I say this is because, in as much as he left abruptly, I feel like he's pretty much solidified the direction in terms of the kind of players Arsenal are looking for. I think with the role of sporting director, from what I'm seeing these days, is almost like a middleman between the executive board of a club and the managerial or the coaching staff, right?
Hmm.
I think what Edu was really good at is trying to convey Arteta's message to the board,
To the board.
um, and also translate that into recruiting the right talent, in terms of youth development. So I think he really set up a good foundation for our club to run by itself. Like he's kind of given that identity where I feel like if Robert comes in today, he's not coming to change things, he's coming to adapt to the system that we already have. I feel like the role of sporting director, from what I'm seeing, it's been a bigger and bigger role within the past 10 years, but most
Yeah.
probably because coaches don't last as long these days in teams.
Exactly.
And I think the executives, at the end of the day, the football club is a business. I think they realized what ends up happening is every time a new coach comes in or a new manager, we're trying to overhaul the tactical analysis of the team. We're trying to throw out players we don't want, come in with new players. And I think
Hmm.
the sporting director is a person who kind of bridges that gap in the sense that if you look at what's happening right now I think it was Newcastle, right? Newcastle recently
Yeah.
appointed Paul Mitchell, right,
Yeah.
as a sporting director, and Eddie Howe was not having it.
Eh,
Like,
You know, that's what I
yeah,
was going
yeah,
to say because,
he
like,
was not having
we
it.
can say, yeah, we can say, like, I get it now. The role of the manager is always the one that is like always going to be like chop and change, and that's why the sporting director is important to like make
Yeah,
sure there's like long term vision for the club, right? Which
yeah,
leads me to think there's a problem here because if you change a sporting director, that could
mm,
also mean the new sporting director might want to go in a different direction, right? So hypothetically, this new Roberts guy coming
Marlon.
into Arsenal, he could come in and say, yeah, I see what you guys have been doing for the past 5, 6 years, but like I believe you haven't won anything, right? He could come in and say, no, I need a club that should be able to run with big players. It's all
Hmm.
nice working with young players with potential and talent because they will listen. It's easier. You can, coach them, cook them. But
Right,
can
right,
you
right,
manage, for example, an Mbappe? What if we went and signed a Vinicius? Is that the kind of club we want to be next, right? What if he comes in with
mm,
that sort of vision and then there's still Arteta there, right? So that makes me believe
right.
like actually losing Edu is like it's not just going to impact like your squad right now, but it might even impact the long term view of the club there on the
Yeah,
squad. And
yeah,
and what
that's
you said
actually a
is so
valid
true.
concern. Yeah.
What if
Hmm.
they don't build that relationship? Because the relationship is super important, like you're saying, Eddie Howe really, and you can see it. Newcastle really
Yeah,
struggled this year, and they
yeah.
had a terrible summer as well. You know,
True, true, true. I think I agree with you on the fact that, yeah, if you're not aligned with your coach or manager, then definitely that could lead to some problems. And what Edu did was he had a very aligned vision with Arteta and
yes,
brought that vision to the board. So if this new guy comes in, like you said, one of two things could happen. He could either be like, okay, you guys, we need a complete overhaul. And now, I mean, now that would be, I feel like, on the real abrupt, like, let me not say abrupt, but what's the word? Like, that would be on the
extreme,
extreme
a
end of
little bit.
things. Like, if he really just thinks like you guys have been doing fuck all for the past 5 years, you guys
Yeah.
think you've been doing anything, but no trophies to show. So I don't know, but what I think is going to happen is he's going to come in and pick up from where Edu has set it up. And I think what he is going to improve upon is the parts that we've been lacking in terms of, like you said, I think we do need to bring in some big names. I think
Yeah,
we've been focusing a lot on like young player development, which is something that was very intentional from these guys. But
yeah,
yeah, we on the side of experience, on the side of like big names that can come in and carry the club forward to win trophies, right? Like
yeah,
we need actual trophy winners. And that's why I think it could be a good thing. Because, whenever a new person comes in, like this is kind of unrelated, but at work, we recently, our team got a new manager.
yeah,
And yeah, the guy, like, a new guy wants to come and assert some dominance. He
yeah,
wants to come in and like
yeah,
switch things up.
exactly.
So,
Yeah,
guy
yeah,
just
yeah. Leave
comes,
your
changes
image
meeting
on there.
times. Like, it's like, you guys be meeting at this time? No, 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 I want to do this. And it's like, it's been
Yeah.
this small changes, team culture
Hmm,
changes. And it's
hmm.
like, it either could go one of two ways, either well or really bad. But the guy, and now in my case, the managers, I've seen some changes, right? Some stuff that we
Yeah,
thought was just normal. I think what a new perspective brings is that you guys realize, oh, this shit that we've been doing, yeah, it's a bit off. Like, so I don't know how. I'll give Robert a chance. I think what we can
okay,
look at potentially how he's going to handle the January transfer window,
exactly.
and that will tell us a lot about what he's thinking in terms of his long-term
You
vision
know,
for the club. Yeah.
perfect. And this is like a great segue to even move into the next thing I want to talk about, which is your season, right? So first of all, I want you
Hmm.
to answer, like, let's say Robert comes in. I think Edu is Edu leaving at the end of the season, or he's actually already out, like middle of the
He
season.
resigned. He dropped out. My guy
So
said
let's say Robert
out.
comes in, right? Robert
Yeah,
comes in, he's taking care of you guys in January, right? First of all, do you even think he should make any signings in January to like try to improve your squad right away?
definitely. Definitely,
Okay.
definitely, definitely. Because I think the first thing, I mean, I told you we already have some transfer targets in January 2025. I
Hmm,
don't know if that was Edu driven, but I know we're looking at Sesko and Nico Williams. So those are
hmm.
some really good like forward
Yeah, yeah,
attacking
yeah.
forwards that we need. And I think those are still targets for us to take, like that we need. So if
And you
he
take them.
can make those happen, if he can make those happen, because the thing with Arsenal is, to be honest, January transfer windows we've been lacking. Our January transfer windows have been garbage for quite some time. But yeah, Sesko and Nico Williams, those are two targets that we have. I've actually been looking at them play this season, and yeah, yeah, those are some ballers we
And
need.
you'll
So
be
I
happy
think
with those.
I
Like
wouldn't be.
you think those guys will come in January and take you to like a, let's say, a second half of this of the season title challenge? Because I disagree.
Mm,
I think you go on the market, you get Victor Osimhen. Like
Aussie, man.
it's so blatant, right?
So clear, bro. Oh my
Like he could
God.
come in January and by the end of the season contribute like 25 goals. You get what I'm
That is
saying? Is
true.
Benjamin Sesko going to do that? I don't think so. I saw him in the Euros. He had like one or two goals the whole tournament. Some of the games he was even missing. So I mean, it's all nice playing for Leipzig, or I think he plays for Leipzig or Salzburg, one of them.
Mm,
It's all nice
yeah,
playing
yeah,
for
yeah.
those guys, and not so much pressure and just like delivering. It's simple. Even Nico Williams, like as good as he is, like
Hmm.
is that going to translate to like let's say 20 goals off the left wing, at Arsenal? And is that what you really need? Because again, you have a load of like young talent. Martinelli, right, with his potential, he's still young. Bukayo Saka is only getting better and better. Like, is that what you need, man? Don't answer the question based on like what you guys are linked with.
Let
What
me
do
let me.
you want, Kimani?
Now, if I was to be honest, like it's not even what we're linked with. That's okay. I guess that's part of it. I think I've
Yeah.
been looking at what we're linked with for sure. But yeah, man, Osimhen is somebody we would really like. Yeah, that would bring our team to another level. I agree with
That
you.
actually make
I don't
that
know why
actually
we're
make
not pursuing him,
me
to be
excited.
honest, because yo, when we didn't pursue him in August, I was quite confused. I'm
I know.
like, yeah, Osimhen would be fire, but I don't know if we're going to approach or even think about getting him. But
Do you
now
want
that
him? So you want him, Jesse?
personally, I want an out and out attacker. That's for sure. A number nine. And I think Osimhen fits that description very well. You know?
100%.
But I also want some depth in terms of like our attacking wings. And I think Nico Williams is a good option for that because he could like
Yeah,
bring some depth on that side when Martinelli and Saka are not around. You know?
true.
I think we need that for sure because yeah, with as much as those guys are, young talent, we do need some depth on that side. So it's almost exciting, but daunting at the same time because you don't know if
Yeah,
it might
you
mess up
don't know.
our
Yeah.
second half of the season, especially with all the stuff that's been going on this first half, man. And I know you want to talk about that as well.
That's my thing, Like, how do you
Oh,
feel about your season so far? And are you still confident that you guys are title challengers?
Arsenal, we're very delusional fans. I'll tell you that for sure. We're very delusional. We're very
Wait, Jesse,
delusional
is
people.
this
Lot.
you, man? Nah, you need to say that again, bro. You need to say that. I need to clip that and make that like a short, man. Is this you,
We're
man?
very delusional fans. I'll give you that. But me personally, I like to like enjoy that sense of hope. And part of me is saying this is a change in our narrative. This is not the standard narrative
All
that
right,
we've been
Jesse,
playing.
cook, man, cook.
I'm telling you the truth, bro. Think about it. Like, in as much as
Okay.
yes, we've had two losses, a couple of draws that we shouldn't have drawn, and I think we definitely have been like riddled with a lot of injuries that
Hmm.
have not given us the best squad that we would have liked to have. We've still held our own, bro. In as much as we have been faced with all that, all the red cards that happened, all the games we lost, we had a red card, all of them, and it was literally just I feel like the lack of experience in our team. So
Mm.
what I see right now as the next half of our season is building off of these failures. The early failures I think is good because if you ask me, it's painful to see your hopes in terms of like you guys are. I feel like last season we were almost too guaranteed that we're gonna win, and we got a bit cocky in the second half of the season. We came into Aston Villa thinking we're gonna kill these guys, and they showed us something else. So
Good
maybe
evening.
this is giving us a bit more grounding, and it's giving us a bit more like, yeah, it's gonna be a tough season ahead, and we already started a bit rocky. But you know what? I want to see these boys show their grit, show us what they've been working on the past 2 seasons, and what that means is coming off of this bad stint, right? Our next run of
Mhm.
games, I think, is going to be really good in setting up our trajectory because December how it goes.
Okay, bro,
But
yeah.
the trickiest game that I would say we're facing in December is Manchester United. So I don't know, man. This could give us a good run of form into January, get some good signings in. Hopefully, Robert comes in with a bit of push to electrify the system, and
So you're still
people start
confident?
realizing. Me, I'm confident, bro. I think all of these changes are good. It's
Okay.
really building a story, bro. If you think about it, like it's
No,
building
no,
a story.
I agree. I agree. But here's my thing, right? I agree it's building a story. I get the whole narrative of like, okay, now you almost kind of want to feel like the underdog a little bit, right? Start from like a position of like you're trying to chase, right? And like I know you at the back of your mind, you're also thinking about Manchester City, who are notorious for doing this, right? By
Hmm.
December, everyone is like, nah, City are not gonna do it, and then boom, January they just spark into
Right.
gear, right? The only difference is if you look at Manchester City, right? You're talking about
Hmm.
a group of players who two, three Premier League trophies already, man. Like they've won at the highest level. They've done this over and over again. If you go through their
Yeah.
squad as well, pound for pound, they have better players. It's just the fact of the matter, right? You guys have like, I believe you have like a strong 11, right? Agreed. But City is a team that can actually afford to play half a season without Kevin De Bruyne. Like think about it, because Foden will cook for half that season. And then the other half of the season, Kevin De Bruyne comes in and is like, oh my God. It's like, you didn't even realize the guy had been injured for the whole time. Arsenal lost Odegaard for a short period of time. And look at it. The team, it's like they can't even play football anymore. And that is my concern. That's why I feel like you are actually not the kind of squad who are in a position to be 9 points away from like the
From the
title.
top.
I don't believe you can actually afford that. I'm like, you guys have been talking about progression, 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 and that's why you keep saying Arteta is the right man for the job, right? Fair,
Hmm.
fair play to Arteta. He's been second two
Hmm.
seasons in a row. Now imagine this season, after all this progression, we are all thinking
Hmm.
that it should be automatic that because you finished second two seasons in a row, the worst you can do is second again, right?
Yeah.
We are all making that assumption. Like Arsenal this season cannot go below second. It's either you win the league or you finish second. Then we'll say,
Mm.
okay, you get what I'm saying. But how would you
Mm.
feel if after all of this, Liverpool comes to pass you guys and picks up the trophy, man?
Yeah, brother, not gonna lie, that's gonna piss me off. If Liverpool in their first season with Slot come away with
I
it,
know.
that's gonna be disgusting. That's gonna be atrocious. Let me not lie to you. I think I'll start to question where we're going with Arteta. That's not, I mean, let me be honest. Let me not say just the Premier League, though. Let me say we need a title. We need a title.
I've
We
said
need
this over
some
and over
trophy.
again.
This season specifically, because, yes, I agree with you. It's looking a bit tricky for us. Like, you know, like I said, we're very hopeful people, very sometimes delusional. But I agree, man. I think it's high time we think about this perspective of the journey with Arteta as needs to come to something, you know? It needs to actually have some fruits out of this whole journey that we've been going in.
You're a
So
big
in
club.
terms of Liverpool, though, I don't think they have I don't know, man. Liverpool, I feel like if they get one or two injuries, Diaz, Salah gets an injury, those guys are gonna have some trouble. And I don't know, but I'm betting on the fact that Manchester City may have a good second run of the season, but I don't think Liverpool can carry on that form. That's what I'm banking on right now, and I'm banking on our January transfers. So I think
Yes.
if we have a good January transfer window, set us up for the next second half, we will be able to push City all the way
Okay.
to the title. And
And
that's
that's a
that's
good note.
that's my assessment now. And it comes to the other trophies in the season. I think obviously our goal would be at least to stay in the to get into the top to the quarters for Champions League.
Champions League,
That's
yeah.
like, I think quarters, if we get into quarters and we're in the title run, I don't know. That now that's the question. If you were in my position, what would you prioritize?
Let me say it this way. I'd rather finish 10th in the league and win the Champions League if I was Arsenal Football Club. That should
Really?
tell you my perspective. You
Mm,
guys are a big club. Big clubs are known for when you walk into the museum of a big club, we should see silverware, man. We don't see, a trophy for finishing second. We don't see that. It's silverware is what you put in your museum. So if I had the choice between a Champions League trophy and finishing 10th in the league, man, I'll
hmm.
finish 10th in the league and pick the Champions League trophy. You get what I'm saying?
Any day,
So for
any day,
me,
any day.
I think you guys should stop this whole prioritize the league business. There are other ways you can
Hmm.
get back into the Champions League, which is by winning the Champions League. You can finish top four. I don't think Arsenal are not going to finish in the top four. They will, even if they struggle along the season. I feel like the other people they are competing with, Arsenal is just much, much better than those squad, right? So I'm looking at the season going, okay, if I'm Arsenal Football Club, I'll take finishing fourth, maybe pick up an FA Cup, maybe add a Carabao Cup, maybe get to the semi-finals of the Champions League. That
Mm,
is good enough
mm.
a season for me to now remain confident in Mikel Arteta. My problem with Mikel Arteta is you finish in second all the time. Maybe you're not a manager who has the capability to carry your team over the line, right? This is why sometimes I criticize him when we compare him to Eric Ten Hag. For all the
Mm.
atrocities that Ten Hag did for Manchester United, he was able to galvanize a squad to go and face Manchester City in a final and beat them well too. Like
Nah, but I
that's a
don't think
manager
it
who
was.
knows how to get over the line. You
I
know
mean,
what
I
I'm
get
saying?
that. I get that. I get that. But let's just say that game you guys really pushed the limits of that team. Let me just say, like, you battled. You guys fought. I'll give you that. But I
Exactly.
don't know how Ten Hag pulled that shit off. Not gonna lie.
and you can
Nah,
say
nah,
that,
nah,
but
nah.
he himself says this all the time. Ever since he became a manager, every year he's won a trophy. Ten Hag says that's all the time,
But this
And
guy,
so, I
Ten
mean,
Hag is also a joker because he was the one saying we've won more trophies than Liverpool in the past 2 seasons. I was like, this guy, he said he's a
he
better
has
team because
though.
he has more trophies. And I'm like, it's such a backhanded compliment because it's like, it's true.
It's true, but
It's a
it's
fact.
just no. I understand that, but again, and this is one of the things I always say. Like big clubs behave like this sometimes, right? Like we just sacked the
Yeah.
manager. Like to put things into like perspective, we just sacked the manager who won two trophies in 2 years, finished third in his first season, and finished eighth in his second season. The other day, I was sitting down thinking if he actually finished eighth in his first season and finished third in the second season, he probably would still be in a job because we'll see that as progression. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it still wasn't
Yeah.
good enough. And I'm saying I want to start considering Arsenal as okay. They're in that conversation as a huge club, right? You haven't won a Premier League title since 2002. You have no European trophy to your name, yet you say you're a
Hey,
big
hey,
club.
hey, come slowly,
Like,
come slowly, come slowly, bro. Hey, thoughts.
like I mean, I've already voiced my my concerns over Mikel Arteta. I think
Mm.
if he ends the season without a trophy, you guys need to start looking elsewhere. That's what I think.
Hey,
That's what I think.
this sounds like
Again, it could also be the players. It could be that maybe if you don't win a trophy in the summer, instead of going to sign all these defenders with potential, go in the market,
mm,
get Victor Osimhen, get like some Frankie De Jong, like get players who you know are coming to win, and then maybe that will do the job for you guys. But hey,
that's why we're gonna have
yeah,
some hope in Robert, man. This sounds, hey, this is that section where Robert comes in, bro. To be honest, sounds like this convo has sounded like a therapy session for Arsenal fans, bro. A reality check.
no, you guys do need a reality check, right? And like
Yeah.
that actually leads me into the last thing I want us to talk about, right? Which is kind of actually go through your squad and analyze it, right? Because I am
Hmm.
a big believer that sometimes systems and managers make certain players look better than they actually are on paper, right? Case in point, Phil Foden. I don't think Phil Foden is as good as everyone thinks he is. I think he's a great player, but I don't think he's like at a point they were comparing him to Lionel Messi. He's not, right? And
Comparing to
he's so
Lionel
far,
Messi,
yeah, at a point, you know,
who are these
so
niggas?
far even Pep in a press conference literally said, "Nah, no one is Lionel Messi." He had to correct them. You know,
Mm,
so far he has shown that outside of Manchester City's structure, he really can't play ball. He doesn't do the same for England like people expect him to, right? And I also did an
hmm.
analysis of most of the players for Manchester City and what they do for their national teams. Kevin De Bruyne, when he goes to Belgium, oh my god,
My guy
like
is
there is a
social.
World Cup where he had the most like he had the stats for the most losses of the ball. Like he's the player who lost the ball the most. And you are sitting there going, wait, Kevin De Bruyne? He never turns up for his nation like you expect him to. You get what I'm saying? But these are players who are so good for Manchester City, right? And
Yeah.
so I want us to go through your squad, right? Try to be as unbiased as you can and actually be critical of the ability of the players, right? Think of them as like,
Hmm.
okay, would Real Madrid sign this player? Think of it that way, right? And
Okay,
I'm
okay.
also going to do the same thing with Manchester United. So we're doing like a combined 11 of the current squad, pound for pound, not like
Uh-huh.
on form or anything, just pound for
Hmm.
pound in each position who we think is the
All
better
right.
player.
All right. Let's
Sounds good?
start with the okay, we start with the formation. What are you taking? Yeah, it sounds good. Let's do it. Let's
Yeah,
do it.
I think
Let's
I
do
think
it.
we should go at 4-3-3.
Okay.
Like one holding midfielder and like two tens or one
Standard.
eight, 110. Standard.
Standard. Standard.
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right. So in
All
goal,
right.
in goal,
Nothing's a
for me,
question there.
I mean it's Onana. I don't think there's a question there either.
What do you mean, bro?
Okay, make an argument for Raya.
Please,
I'm here. I'm listening.
please. Nah, no, I mean, look at Raya, bro. What I mean, okay, I guess we're not going off of form, but Raya has
Hmm.
made we're not going off of form, but Raya
Yeah.
as a keeper, his awareness of the goal, his saves, this guy has made his reflexes are on some crazy stats, bro. I
Hmm.
think Raya is actually a special person that initially when he took away Ramsdale for Raya, I didn't understand it. But I think Raya is actually a talented and gifted person
Again,
in that goal, bro. So I don't know
no one is.
what should we like. Are we looking at metrics? What are we looking at? If it's not, or is it because we're not looking at form, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're not looking at form. I mean, form, you could use form. I mean, even on form, he's not the best goalkeeper in the Premier League right now. Onana has the most clean sheets in the Premier League right now. He's also the third with like most goals prevented in the Premier League. Raya is not in the top five for that. So Raya is sinking more goals. He's not preventing enough goals this season. So on form, Onana is better. But that's not even why I think Onana is better. I mean, let's face it. Before Raya joined
Mhm.
us, now where was he? Man, he was relegation with Brentford, man. That's where he was. Onana was in a Champions League final, my guy. Like, what
I
are we talking
mean,
about?
brother,
Like, pound for
that's
pound.
like saying when Mane was in
Yeah.
Southampton, right? Like he was still a baller, bro. What do you mean? Like
No, he was, but Raya is not better than Onana. Raya has had one good season under Mikel Arteta. Last season, they finished, he won the Golden Glove for most clean sheets, which I believe was more to, your defense than
the
Raya. But
defense.
no,
Okay, you know
I
what?
would,
Let's
because
give
even
it to Onana. Let's concede.
last season,
Let
he
me
didn't have
concede.
the most saves in the Premier League. Yeah, Onana is the better goalkeeper, is the fact.
I'll
He's
I
better
will
on the ball.
concede. Mhm. I will concede. I will concede
Okay.
this one.
So we
I'll
have
give it to
Onana in
Onana.
goal. Okay, let's go
Uh-huh.
right back.
I think our defense is carrying that whole defense, bro. I don't even know if I need to say much. I don't think we need to discuss the defense because our defense is killing is wiping your team out the way, bro. What do you think?
Again,
Because I mean, we have Ben White, bro. Ben White. Who are you gonna talk
I,
about?
okay. So I will concede to Ben White. I mean, I had him
Mm-hmm.
in my combined 11. Um, I
Mm-hmm.
was gonna make a case for Dalo, but I just think he had just one good season, which was last year. He was our
Yeah.
player and best player. But that was it. Even this season, he's been a little bit inconsistent. So I'll give it to Ben White, especially in terms of his partnership with Odegaard and Bukayo Saka off the right. He was also like a prodigy from like Brighton. I think he's the one of the most expensive players you guys actually signed recently from Brighton as well. So Ben White, I'll concede. And let's not also debate the right centre back because I actually think Saliba has the potential to be one of the best defenders in the world. I
In the
actually
world,
agree.
bro.
I actually agree. I could good mention could be Delete, but Delete is like he's in Delete at a point was in that period that Saliba is in now, right? Where everyone was thinking, oh, he's gonna
Right.
be like the best player in the world,
Right. Right. Right.
from
Right. Right.
Ajax,
Right.
went
Right.
to got his move to
Juve.
Juventus. You thought it was good, but it's not
I don't
really
know what
coming
happened to
together.
him, man.
Yeah, I really don't know, and I'm hoping to see what he's able to do under the new manager. But I just don't think there's enough there for me to say
Mm.
he's better. Even though it's pound for pound, I still don't think he's better than Saliba. Saliba is quicker. Saliba is better on the ball. Like he's just sleek. So no debates there. Now left side is
What
centre
do you
back.
Nah.
No,
What?
I love Gabriel, but I'm gonna have to pick the World Cup winner Martinez, bro. It's
What?
Martinez. Yes, man. The height is a
Over
problem for Martinez
Gabriel?
over Gabriel, pound for pound. He's better on the ball. Currently in the Premier League, he leads in the most interceptions made in the Premier League. He's already won 2 trophies as a Manchester United player. He's a World Cup
Brother, we're
winner.
not
I
talking
mean,
about trophies, we're talking about individual talent.
yeah, individual talent. What
We're
do you
talking about
think?
individual talent.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Do you think?
Because I
Okay.
Mhm.
Now let me listen to your arguments because I think
No,
Martinez
yeah, let
is a
me
better player.
I think Martinez is definitely a good defender, but bro, Gabriel has not only had one of the best runs in defense this past 2 seasons, he's one
Okay.
of the top scoring defenders in the Premier League right now,
Yes, he is.
right? He's one
Yeah.
of the best set pieces, like reliable persons at set pieces. And of course the defensive record speaks for itself. So I think Gabriel, of course, there's a partnership with Saliba that's really
Mm-hmm.
helping. But he, even before Saliba came, he was one of Arsenal's most reliable defenders. And comparing to Martinez, I think Martinez is somebody who does well, but is inconsistent. He's very inconsistent. I don't think we can say the same about Gabriel. I think Martinez is very inconsistent in terms of, hey, can I depend on this guy? I don't think I can. And for that reason, I would say Gabriel is my pick for that one.
Okay. I will concede. And I'm not conceding because of the consistency argument, because I do believe Gabriel has just had one good season, which was last year. The season before, don't forget, he was in and out of the squad. Even after Saliba
But
came,
same
he
with
was.
Martinez.
I mean,
Martinez was
Martinez was due
riddled
to
with
injury.
injuries, yeah.
Yeah, it was due to injury. But Gabriel, he was actually competing. There was another centre back he was competing with to just get into the squad. And he was you as an Arsenal fan, you know this. He was always the guy that you guys were always worried about because he had a mistake in it. I agree. Like the past seasons, he's kind of sharpened up his game a little bit and tried to
Hmm.
move away from the mistakes. Um, and while I think Martinez is better, especially on the ball, and
Mm.
again, like I said, he's made more interceptions than any defender this season. I just feel like you want your defender to be big, strong, and powerful, and that's something
Yeah,
that
Martinez is
Martinez
lacking
has.
on that side.
So I
He's
will
lacking on
concede.
that side.
I will concede. At left back, it pains me to say this because I'm one of the people who I don't like
Mhm.
to make the argument that if they are fit, because if they are fit, let's face it, the best left back in the Premier League is Luke Shaw, but it's with a big if.
Big, big if, bruh.
Big if
Serious
they are
if.
fit. You know what I'm saying? So I don't like the
Yeah.
arguments, but in this case, since it's a pound for pound, we're assuming they are fit and whatever. I think Luke Shaw is the guy. Also because Arsenal really haven't ever had a consistent left back.
Timber. Timber
Yeah,
is
I like
actually
that guy.
giving us
I
some.
remember
We need to
last
give
week
him
when
some more time. Yeah.
last week when George and I did a Chelsea Arsenal combined 11, I actually got Gabriel in there, Timber
Yeah.
in there. I like him. I like him. But yeah, I
Timber
think
is
pound for pound,
fire, bro.
Luke Shaw is the
I will
best
agree
left.
with that. Luke Shaw is phenomenal
Yeah,
when he's peak, like when he's performing, he's phenomenal.
yeah,
Even for England, I think he's proved himself time and time again.
exactly.
So
Exactly.
that one I will not. We definitely can put Luke Shaw there. So let's move on to the midfield.
Okay, what do you want to do?
Midfield.
Do you want to do? Let's do our three together, combined, right? So give me your three, then I'll give you my three.
All right, all right, all right. So my three combined, I would
Mhm.
have to put Odegaard, of course. Bruno, I'll put Bruno because Bruno is a beast. I'll give him that. And then
Yeah.
my boy Declan Rice. That's my people. That's my
Okay.
people. That's
We
my
only
people.
disagree. We disagree on just one spot, um,
Mm,
which is the Declan Rice role, the holding midfield role.
okay.
Pound for pound, Casemiro is. I mean, come on, Declan Rice is not going to lose Casemiro's boots pound for pound. I mean,
I mean,
if we're talking future in terms of like
yeah,
who,
I feel like that would be if we're not talking like current form, we should at least talk about future. Okay, well, that's unfair to Casemiro because he's old. So I don't know. Like,
pound for
it's a
pound, who's a
tricky one.
better player?
Of
It's
course,
Casemiro.
Casemiro.
Like,
You guys,
and to
you
be
don't
fair
have
to
to see with
Casemiro,
Man U. You guys have old players, bro.
to be fair to and Jesse, I wanted to also do this to actually draw your attention to something, to actually
Mhm.
get you to see that maybe you guys are overthinking your squad. You think they are so good on paper. Some teams, as terrible as they are doing, probably have better players in certain positions than you think. You get what I'm
I
saying?
mean, it's better players if you're looking at their career, but if you're looking at
Like pound
form,
for pound. So that makes me think. Okay, so imagine you can transport such a player into your squad with a structure, with a better manager, better environment, and let them perform. Right? Like when we get into the forward areas, I'm gonna make a similar argument for like Marcus Rashford. I've actually been calling for him to move to Arsenal. Funny enough,
oh
him at
brother, let's get
Arsenal.
there
Oh my
first. But
god, you know.
nah,
But you
nah,
let's
nah,
get
nah.
so
Let's get there. Let's get there. Let's get there later.
so Kashmir is a better player, no debates there. But I do think Declan Rice is gonna get there. I will say though,
Yeah,
there's an
yeah.
element of his game that sort of playing, like the way you can dictate to the game. Even if I don't know if you've seen Casemiro this games this season, bro, he is cooking. Aside that Liverpool game that was a horror show, he's actually really stepped up. Man, he's
No,
been
brother, let me
cooking,
be
spraying the
honest. I
passes
agree
around
with
and stuff.
you. I agree with you. I agree with you for majority of that. But Declan Rice is actually a phenomenal player. I think
No, he
the
is.
reason that players are winning these arguments most of the time is just because we don't have enough evidence for their career. Because these are young, like Declan Rice is at early. When Casemiro was Declan Rice age, like probably same argument could have been made
No,
if you're
but
comparing
if I feel like
comparing
if you're
like Casemiro and another OG midfielder at that time. You know what I mean?
yeah, but if you're good, you're good. I mean, I'm not gonna make an argument for Ericsson over Odegaard. If you look at career, Odegaard is
Nah, but that
like
yeah, that's
I'm
fair.
just
That's fair.
no.
But
If
I
no, because for
mhm,
example, Casemiro has had a better career than Rodri, hasn't he? But I'm still gonna say
definitely.
Rodri is a better midfielder. You get what I'm saying? Because he is pound for
I don't
pound. He
even
is.
know. We could argue Rodri has had a better career right now.
Like, you
I
could
mean,
actually try to make the
you can
argument. I mean,
actually argue
five
that.
Champions League trophy says no, but you could make the argument if you want to.
Ballon d'Or, Ballon d'Or,
I
Ballon d'Or.
mean, is it really?
Fuck
Is
that
it
place
really?
though. Yeah, I don't know if I even want to mention that shit, to be honest.
Okay.
Oh,
So, but
brother.
but yeah, again, I mean, I just wanted to give a good shout to Declan Rice.
So let me see.
Yeah,
Like, if I was to put Casemiro there, would I put Bruno then? But no one is taking away Bruno from our team. That's the
bro.
thing.
Uh,
I don't think I could have anyone on our team take out Bruno. So you're lucky
Actually,
on that
the amount
side.
of the amount of disrespect Bruno gets sometimes, I I get it. United are struggling. United are struggling, but I actually pulled out Bruno Fernandes's stats. If you actually look at his
Mhm.
stats, they are crazy. Ever since he joined the Premier League, no player, no midfielder has had more goal and assist contributions than Bruno Fernandes. Kevin De Bruyne included. No player
Are you
has created
serious?
more. I'm serious. He's had 91 goal and assist contributions in the Premier League. Kevin De Bruyne has like 80 something, right?
Bruno
Kevin De
Fernandes?
Bruyne has, yeah, Bruno Fernandes
Damn.
91 goal assist contributions. Kevin De Bruyne has had 85. Phil Foden has had 72, right? Since he joined the Premier
Damn.
League, he's also created over 400 chances, 407 chances. Kevin De Bruyne has created 334. Like these
That's
are the
insane.
statistics since he joined the Premier League. So that should tell
That's
you he's the
crazy.
perfect example of like the team not really allowing him be elevated as much as he should be. But he's a beast. Even Pep Guardiola said it. He's a creative machine. Like there is no
Yeah,
better
yeah,
creative player in the Premier League, in my opinion, than Bruno Fernandes, right? I mean, even KDB that we all
yeah.
say is like the GOAT in midfield. I mean, look at these stats, man. And so
I mean, I would say is like he's that type of player where you know that thing that you were speaking about earlier of how a system can aid you to be a better player or not. I think he's one of those players that thrives regardless of the system. So it speaks to his stats, you know, like he's in a struggling team, but he's still performing. I think
still
that's a phenomenal player. And the problem I have with him is he's just like he just doesn't have that discipline sometimes. His discipline
yeah,
is lacking, especially as a experienced player. I feel like he should have more leading
I
with
agree.
discipline, you
I
know?
agree. I
Sometimes you
agree.
just see him like he just has random tantrums on the field, bro. I'm like, bro, you're the
And,
only guy right now. You know that the team is depending on you guys are 3-0,
yeah,
2-0
yeah,
down, and the guy is there rolling on the
yeah.
floor crying to the referee. I'm like, brother,
Yeah. Personally, I don't have a problem with that much. Like at the end of the day, I just want a player to deliver. And so far as he's delivering, he can scream and shout at the referee all he wants. Yeah, I don't really care to be honest. Like I'd rather that
what do you
than a player
mean? Like
who
that
no,
it has
I'd
an
rather that
effect
than
on the team, bro.
no, seriously. I'd rather, for example, I'd rather Marcus Rashford was showing some passion than just all quiet on the pitch, head down, like as if he doesn't want to be there. At least Bruno Fernandez shows me like he cares, he wants to be there. He run the
Mm,
indiscipline you are talking about is actually as a consequence of how the team is set up. He's all over.
mm.
Sometimes you see him at right back, left back, center back, like all over the pitch. No discipline whatsoever.
Right, right,
And
right, right,
and
right.
that's so yeah. Bruno Fernandez, fantastic, and of course, I love Odegaard. Actually, I'm a big fan of Martin Odegaard. I just don't like seeing the
What a
Odegaard
baller.
Bruno comparisons because I don't think he's there yet. But I'm a big fan, especially his dribbling ability, he just looks nice,
His
and
close
I'm surprised
control,
he's a
his
Madrid player
agility
too.
is
So
insane.
you know
Yeah,
his
yeah.
ability is
Madrid
nice. Like
product.
yeah, 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 yeah. Do you think there's
He's
something to
cooking,
his
bro.
game like to see him improve upon?
Odegaard right now, I mean, I think he sometimes, what can I say? His game is so good right now. It really takes me some digging to think about. I mean, I'd probably want to see him attempt some more, you know, goal scoring opportunities.
That's
I
what I was
think
gonna say.
yeah, I think he very much sometimes sits back and wants to just assist, you know, create those chances. But I think he's still like if he decides to bang a goal, this guy actually has some
You get
shot.
what
And he has some actual power with his shots as well. I think he could do more for the team if he can, you know, lead with that goal scoring mentality as well.
yeah.
You know,
That's the only thing I was
that's
gonna say. I
something.
think he needs more goal, even assist contributions. He needs more of that. Like Bukayo Saka is like
Mm,
the person with the most assists in your team. Like that should be
yeah,
Odegaard. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like that's the
yeah,
next. Like I want to see more numbers. Like Kevin De Bruyne, we don't talk about Kevin De Bruyne because he's a great dribbler or whatever. The numbers just speak for themselves, man. He gets the ball, he's not even thinking twice. Ball through, and then the goal is
literally.
happening. You get what I'm saying? Odegaard sometimes will just
That's a
hold the
shit. Yeah,
ball to the right, move it to the left. Sometimes just get the ball and put your striker through.
yeah,
So that's the only
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
He really knows how
Forward
to
position,
command the midfield though. So we love to see it for him.
100%.
Love
We
to
love
see
to
it
see
for
it.
him.
All
Hmm.
right. Forward positions, right wing. I mean, it's Bukayo Saka. We won't debate it. Let's skip.
Let's just move on.
I love Saka though. He's the one player
The
in
baller.
Arsenal. He's the one player in Arsenal, I think, and Saliba, I think. If I'm Real Madrid, I'm going to sign. I think they have the
Mm.
capability to play for a club like Real Madrid. So now let's go. These two positions are hard, even for the both of us, because there isn't much there. But Marcus Rashford on the left wing, man, pound for pound, I don't think there's a better left winger in the league. Period.
Rashford,
Yeah,
Rashford,
yeah.
Rashford.
Pound for pound,
Mm-mm.
there's no better left winger in the league. You can't even pick one that's better than him.
Brother, this is gonna be a bit interesting of a pick, but you know what I'm gonna put there?
Who?
I want to put Trossard there.
No chance. Not
I
a
want to put
chance.
Trossard there. Trossard is a baller, brother. And in fact,
No,
I would
hey,
argue, I would argue, you know what? I would argue right now,
Trossard.
Rashford,
Oh my
Rashford is
goodness.
being benched by Trossard.
Yeah, guy, bro.
Rashford is
That's
being
not.
benched any day.
That's
Bro, I think
not-
you guys are in such denial of the fact that Rashford is a mediocre player. I
Mm-mm,
think it's time to allow that like perspective, bro, because it's been what, 6, 7 seasons at Manchester United,
mhm.
and the boy has barely had one good season.
Oh,
Like
he
probably
had one.
one.
No,
Like
he's
that's
had.
it.
No, he's had like 2 or 3 good seasons.
Literally.
Just relax. I mean, 2 or 3 out of 6 ain't bad.
Nah, nah,
Yes.
nah. The profile of the player is
And what
is
he can
something that
do.
I'm actually questioning as well. He can definitely he has that he has that ability, but I think he cannot like deliver at the final moment. I feel like he has that instinct. He has the positioning. He can literally be at the right place at the right time, but his decision making is off, and his decision making sometimes messes him up. Bro, he's in a position where he could literally pass the ball and decides to sky that shit. Like he would try and make a power shot,
Jesse, I
think
don't
he's Ronaldo. And I've seen this so many times. I'm like, brother, this guy is not growing. The thing is, you'd at least want to see some growth. But I see the same Rashford that I saw 3, 4 years ago today, and that just tells me he's reached his peak. Like that's him. Like he's not growing as a player. He's
yeah, but
just stuck in
no,
this form of, he could be, he could be, he could be,
no,
but
and
he's
I
stuck
agree.
there.
No, Jesse, no one is saying this is untrue about Rashford. It's true. But to say
Hmm.
that Trossard is a better player is just outrageous. Like he's not. Trossard is not as quick as Rashford. He's not as strong as Rashford. He can't shoot the ball as good as Rashford. I mean, come on. What
But you
can
see, the
Trossard
thing
do?
is, the thing is, bro,
Trossard
if
is
you if you make that
an
argument,
impact
like
player at
if we
best.
make that argument, there's like Dele Alli, for example, right? Dele Alli was a phenomenal
Hmm.
player, right?
Hmm.
Dele
He was.
Alli could, you know,
And he's
be.
better than Trossard, pound for pound.
Yeah, yeah. But
Like,
in terms of like putting him on the squad, like somebody you can rely on, I don't think I can put Dele Alli there. That's the thing. Or are
but
we
you
just
can put
looking at like
Trossard.
bare,
No, no,
bare,
Jesse,
bare stats?
do you think Trossard is
Mhm,
having a season like what Rashford has had for those 3 good seasons you think he had, right? Trossard is
mhm.
never having that kind of season. He's not that kind of player. He will never have that kind of season. He's not that good. He's an
The thing
impact
is,
player at
he's
best. Even this season
yes,
that you guys have had injuries. No, think about it. This is the perfect opportunity to say Trossard is that guy. You've had your injury, so the guy is out of the squad. He was brought in. What did he do? You guys went and you've been losing and you've been not Trossard. I thought you were even going to make an
he's
argument
not
for
had a full
Martinelli.
season.
The
And
only
if you were
difference
to
with
tell me bring
Rashford,
Rashford to Arsenal today, if you were to tell me bring Rashford to Arsenal
yes,
today, he's always starting off the bench.
no,
I don't know if he's because look at it right now. Look at
nah.
Havertz. He's not taking off. He's not taking off Havertz. He's
He's
not
going to
taking off.
bench
Maybe
Martinelli. He will bench
maybe
my
benching
I have it
Martinelli. He's gonna bench
and bench
Martinelli
I
to
have it.
start with. He's not benching Havertz. He's not benching Havertz
Rashford is a better player than Kai. Jesse, why are we even having this argument?
because
you,
because
Jesse,
me
even
personally,
Bukayo
I
Saka,
have huh?
Even Bukayo Saka has not had a good a season like Marcus Rashford had in 2022. What are we
I
talking about
mean,
here?
that's
Come
all
on,
good.
Jesse.
You're highlighting one season and picking that
That
as
should
his.
tell you how
We're
good
talking
he is.
about like I think a player is not as good as his best season. A player is as good as his consistency. Let's not let me not like make this go too crazy. So I'll allow it. Maybe Rashford is a better player than Trossard, and I might be biased right now because of what Trossard is playing at the moment. Right?
Even at the
I'll allow
moment, he's
that.
not. Anyway,
You would like to say at the moment Rashford is better than Trossard?
even at the moment, I don't see this whole Trossard argument.
Nah, nah,
No,
nah, nah.
and here why I think he will actually do well for Arsenal.
Mm-hmm,
The one thing I've learned about Rashford, he's very much an environment type player, right? I feel like
mm-hmm,
maybe this whole I'm a Manchester United player, I owe them something because I grew up in the club, all that kind of jazz. Maybe it's just weighing on him. Because
mm-hmm.
it's sad for me with Rashford because again, like I'm saying, if you actually look at the player profile, like the profile of the player, right? Put your bias aside, you can see quick, strong, powerful, can dribble, can shoot a ball. I mean, like, look at what he did to
But bro,
Thomas Partey. Remember last
that's every potential player. Like I could say the same thing about
you
Nwaneri,
can
Like
No,
like there's
right now I can say the same thing about him. I can't say the same about Tross. He's never done that before for us to see. What are you talking about? Like just
But see, that's
11
the
fine.
thing. You cannot vet a player on their potential though, because you can only vet them on their consistency. Because that's the thing that
And I
keeps a
agree.
player at the highest level. You
I
understand?
agree.
And
I
I
agree.
and I think what you're doing is you're always looking at Rashford as that could be guy.
After all these things, you still don't have a better left winger than Marcus Rashford. Trossard is not better. Martinelli is not better. End of debate. It's
I
as simple as
mean, okay, fine.
that.
That's fine. We can put him there for now. We can put him there. But I think he's only being put there because of his experience over time. Martinelli is a
Okay.
young player, so
When I
let's give
did
him
my
time.
combined 11, originally what I
Mm,
did was I put Rashford in the as the striker because the good season he even had under Ten Hag it was through the middle, right? Scoring 30 goals that year. Because I don't
hmm
think Kai Havertz is supposed to be on number 9. I don't think he's that good. And Gabriel Jesus, I mean, come on.
Yeah,
Don't know what's up with him. So I was willing to do that
yeah.
and actually play Martinelli on the left wing.
That's what I
Because
was thinking as well, to be
again,
honest.
I'm just looking at the player profile, Martinelli. I mean, there aren't many wingers around quicker than him. He can
Yeah,
dribble as well. He just that final decision making is what is missing a little bit. But in terms of
I think
potential,
that's yeah, yeah,
I
yeah. I
think,
agree with you. Mm,
and this
And
is
I
what I
think
want to see
Martinelli
for
just needs
Arsenal, by
some
the way.
experience on his back. I think Martinelli needs some experience on his back. Over time he's gonna get better. That's something that I think we can guarantee for sure. This is a young kid. Let's not forget he's only 23 years old. So give him time.
All right, guys. So that's our Arsenal Manchester United combined 11 pound for pound. Let us know what you think in the comments if you agree or disagree. And yeah, so guys, that's it for today. Thank you to Jesse for joining us today. We will definitely have him more on the pod because we know you guys like him. His episode is still the most viewed episode so far. So hey, shout out
Yes,
to
sir. Shout
Jesse.
out Kevin as well. Yeah, Kevin was on that
Exactly.
one too. Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you guys, and we'll see you. It's podcast. Shh.
Cheers, guys.